Hey, Facebook, here we are.
Great hat.
Thank you, brother. I really appreciate it. I couldn't make your bachelor party, so I'm excited that I get to wear the hat. And I'm looking for a new go-to hat since I gave my Knocking Point hat away at Comic-Con. Remember that? So a guy stands up. Hi, everyone. We'll be live for a while. We're here signing our postcards. Zacho, can you show the postcards that we got right here?
And
Oh, wow. All right, so I'm sitting at Nerd HQ at Comic-Con, and a guy stood up and he told this awesome story about how he was giving me his hat from his baseball team that he has for soldiers that are about to deploy. And I was like, he's like, I don't have a question. I just want to give this to you because I think you're a cool guy. And I switched my Knocking Point hat with his, and immediately regretted it. Like the spirit of it was important, but that hat fit me. I love that hat, and I miss it so much. I'm willing to bargain to get it back.
maybe he's watching.
Maybe you are watching. If you are, I'm willing to bargain to get it back. I'll give you a Green Arrow suit top.
Damn. That's pretty good.
The production just found that out.
All right, that's not why we're here.
Yeah.
We are here to sign a little over 4,300 postcards. How many?
5,000.
Well, we're signing. Well,
We're going to sign 5,000 postcards. Here's the postcard.
Lord Mesa.
Done
thank
by
you
Lord
again.
Mesa, who also did the art on my shirt. And did this hat.
No, not true. So we're gonna sit here for the next few hours signing these.
Zacho, are there any questions coming in? You can answer a few questions before we get going, and then we're just going to get going. Maybe one or two.
Is there anything else we should?
Yeah,
we have our campaign friends here as well, Michael
Yep.
and Davin, who have been amazing. We've got Jeff, who directed Code 8 and is directing the feature. Oh, we're shooting in
Yes.
June and July in
June,
Toronto.
July next year.
Yeah,
June, July in Toronto.
yeah,
Yes.
I'm shooting in June.
yes.
Yes.
Steve is shooting all of June.
Mid-May to June.
Okay.
Whatever we can get out of Steve.
You know that joke that I make when I say I'm going to do something, and then I say that the people responsible are finding out right now.
Yeah.
I'm finding that out right now. Any question? Any questions, Zacho?
Well, Drew Hall can't wait for the sequel, Code 9.
Is that what we would call it?
Jeff, what is a Code 9?
I don't know. Bathroom break.
Yeah. Involving a super.
Yeah, the
exactly.
sequel 10-1. That's code on a film set for I have to
Yeah,
take
a
a
lot of
peek.
people didn't know.
No, I know. Okay, what else? What else? We'll do a couple more.
FNF Johnson wants to know, is that your brother?
No, cousins. Our dads are brothers.
Yeah.
Kristen Embler
amazing
wants to
how many
know, why isn't
people
Robbie
watch that.
wearing a hat of Steven?
Yeah, why don't I have a Steven?
That's a reasonable question. I don't know. I don't know. There are no. By the way, you know that we're back doing Amel Wednesdays now.
I know. It's not me anymore. My wife and I, we got married 3 weeks ago. So Wednesday nights at 10 o'clock is Designated Survivor. She plays Kiefer Sutherland's right-hand woman. So I need a show on Wednesday so we can have the triple. Or Cass.
Do me a
Cass
favor.
can
Do
get
it at 9 o'clock for God's
Okay.
sakes. Okay. Yeah. No. Cass could do it. Cass could. Yeah. Cass could get a 9 o'clock show
Yeah.
on E. I just made that up. I don't know. I'm trying to take away from the broadcast networks because we're being cannibalized. Okay. Let's get to signing. Can someone take over the video for Zacho so that they can see us get into it?
Or we could just do something on Netflix and then it's...
Oh yeah,
You
no,
can
we
just
can do it
watch
on
it on
Netflix.
Wednesdays.
You can watch it on Wednesday. That's correct.
I heard that you had a good Halloween. I heard that you had a good Halloween party. He's gone?
I had a kick-ass Halloween party, bro.
Yeah. Sorry, I was in Palm Springs. Otherwise, I would have got. Cass and I decided that we're doing a proper dress up next year.
Oh,
Did you decide on costumes?
Yeah, I'm going to go as full on old school
Dawn Trejo.
tight wearing Green Arrow.
Oh,
Yeah.
dye, like goatee, dye the hair lighter.
Bye, buddy.
Johnny, bye.
Bye.
Johnny normally doesn't even say bye. He just you'll say something
just
and he
hangs
goes
up the
okay,
phone?
and it's gone.
What a dick.
It's the worst move. It's such a power move.
Jeff, where would you like the movie to go? What path do you see, or are you just focused on making a good movie?
I think the idea is to make a really great movie, and then we'll have a lot of options. We can go to a film festival. We can maybe work with a bigger company to
Blanks?
put it out. There's a ton of great options after we finish the movie.
We gotta finish it.
Gotta finish it first.
Apparently, it's gonna have special effects in there too.
There's a few VFX shots.
Yeah,
One or
okay.
two.
Same company that did the short film, Play Fight Visual Effects. Our buddy Will runs it. Awesome dude. Awesome group of people. They did us a huge favor on the short, and they're doing us a huge favor on the film, which is why it's going to feel significantly bigger than the budget allows for.
And we'll pay them properly when we do Code 9. Jeff, did you see a short called Sidekick by a guy named Jeff Cassidy?
No.
I love Jeff.
Jeff Cassidy did a short with Josh Dallas, Tom Cavanaugh, and Emily Bett Ricard.
Cool.
And
I'll have
it's
to look
on YouTube right now. Sidekick movie short 2016. Look it up. It's really, really awesome, and
That's
I was
really good.
incredibly jealous of their visual effects. It was incredible,
Very cool. I'll check that out.
big time.
Jeff's a good guy too. He worked on Flash. I think I actually met him when I think he worked on Tomorrow People with us.
Did I tell you that I met Jeff Probst?
I saw your picture.
Oh,
Steve,
wow.
I'm sure you all know this, but Steve is a massive Survivor fan. Like, you're season 1 for Survivor.
I've
fan.
seen every single episode of Survivor ever.
Yeah. Steve also thinks he could win
Yeah.
Survivor.
I would win Survivor, but let me tell you the story. So we're going out for EW Pop Fest last Saturday. I wanted to do a bunch of things. I wanted to crash Jared and Jensen's panel. I just wanted to walk out there and.
Who are Jared and Jensen?
It's Jared Ackles and Jensen Padalecki are on a show called Supernature, and it's going
on
it's,
Discovery.
They're waiting. Yeah, they're waiting to see if they'll get their back 9 order on their first season. But
They're
I wanted
wondering if
to.
they're going to get their back 9 season order.
I wanted to walk out and like say hi and stuff like that during the panel. They wouldn't let me. And
Really?
yeah, so I rebelled by basically just not changing from the night before and wearing track pants. But they said, "What would you like?" And I was like, "Jeff Probst is coming out here for a panel, and I'd really like to meet him." And everyone laughed, and I'm like, "No, seriously, I'd really like to meet Jeff Probst." And we chatted about the show for a second, and I told him that I thought that he did really good work, and in my dreams we hugged, and he told me that the tribe had spoken, but in reality he just went out on stage. Okay, Facebook, we'll be back in a little bit. We're going to turn tunes back on, but where would we say? Are we a quarter of the way through, or are we an eighth of the way through, or are we
1/5.
You or me?
1/5? We'll be back, guys. Thank you very much. So when Maddie was actually a baby, Robbie and I obviously are related and have very similar characteristics. So she wasn't able to differentiate. She thought I was ostensibly an evil version of, or you were an evil version of me.
I was Bizarro Steve.
Yeah.
She would look at me and she'd be like, Dad, nope. And just like full scream cry.
So Code 8.
Code 8. So Steve and I have wanted to work together for a long time. Jeff Chan, who's here, our director, we've wanted to work together for a long time. We were supposed to work together, and we had some date conflicts get in the way. Chris Pare, who's another friend, great writer, worked with Jeff in the past and a good friend of ours. We all just wanted to do something together, so we just kind of figured, why don't we do our own thing? There were a couple different versions of the short with Steve in it, but ultimately timing didn't work out with Arrow, so we had to make it without him, just with the idea that he would be in the feature film, which he will be. So we prepped for a little while. We shot over 2 weekends, 2.5 filming days in Los Angeles. Sun Kang was a part of it, great actor. We called in a ton of favors from friends, visual effects company, and it was just really kind of like a labor of love. Everybody wanted to be there. Everybody did it because they believed in the project, and again, if you go to code8.com, the 10-minute short film is right at the top. It's a YouTube video. And then we launched the Indiegogo campaign.
How many views does it have?
It's a little over 1 million.
It's around 2. It's
Around 2
a
million.
little under 2 now.
All right, and we front paged on Reddit, and we're actually
we're
like
the 7th most upvoted video of all time on Reddit.
7th most upvoted video of all time on Reddit.
That's
All
true?
time.
Yeah,
That's true. Out of
that's
millions of videos.
crazy.
Yeah,
And a
but like-
10-minute video.
Yeah.
Well, you want to know why? Because the short was fucking awesome, and it's really good, and you're gonna get more of the same in the movie. I mean, we're gonna make this movie look like a lot of studio movies should look.
Yeah.
Better than a lot of cine movies.
I'm getting a lot of people asking about the hat. What happened to the other hat?
Oh, my face
Oh,
hat.
it didn't totally fit me because I have a large brain.
Steve has a huge head. Look at this. I look like a child, and like, what is this? Look
Does
at the
this
size of your head?
does this belong to anyone?
I think it might be yours. Well, don't ruin it.
Well, I'm saying does it belong to anyone?
Paquin doesn't have one. He wants that one.
Okay. All right. Robbie voted for Trump.
Steve's a little upset with me right now because I just revealed to him that the Code 8 postcards actually arrived at the house. The day,
Drinking
a few days.
Knocking Point Rosé. That's pink wine for dudes. Apparently, this came from the UK. True story.
Yeah.
So if Italia's watching this, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But
Sorry about
I
it.
shifted to rosé after I found out that you're a deceitful human being.
So Steve kept wondering why I had signed so many more postcards than him, and he doesn't know the official number until now. But while I was watching the World Series, I decided to sign 1,500 postcards. So you're way behind.
Oh my god. So all of those are signed over there?
That stack, that stack, that stack. Here's the picture that I sent to the guys when I was like, hey, don't let Steve know that I signed 1,500 postcards.
So you just sat here and watched Game 7?
Yeah, I'm watching the baseball game. For sure.
So I have a funny story. When I guest starred on The Flash in season 1 and took down Reverse Flash, spoiler alert, with no superpowers. And Robbie and I
With a
were
little help.
Yeah, with a little help, and Robbie and I were in it. We had different classifications. You were a guest star, and technically I was going to be a special guest star. And so people get fussy about stuff like that, which I've never really experienced because my name is first on Arrow, and I don't really know.
Yep.
And so we were talking about it, and I was like, if I'm going to be on this episode of The Flash, I would really like it if Robbie and I's name appeared at the same time.
Yeah, that was super cool.
And they're like, well, sorry, we can't do it because you're a special guest star and Robbie's a guest star. And I said, really cool, so I'm not going to do the show now.
So now every episode after, I'm a special guest.
Is that true? So I bumped you up?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they would just put you back
They can't
down.
bring you back
Well, if
down.
they bring you up, they can't bring you back down. Oh my god, I didn't know that. But anyway, yeah. So we ended up on the same screen, and there's a great screenshot of when they played it in the episode. Grant is looking like doing a scene, but it looks like he's looking down towards the credits, and it's the two of us. Ooh. Oh my goodness.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Which is part of the reason we're doing Code 8. We didn't get to say anything to each other in the episode.
How did they not write us
Well,
something?
remember there were like different versions of it, and they were just like, look, ultimately it's too weird if you guys talk to each other.
Why?
Because they were like, it's, you either like give a nudge that you're related or you don't, and he's like, they were just kind of like, it's too weird. We don't
Really?
know how to
Because I do a full Casey Jones thing in episode 3 of Arrow,
Two-man.
where Rick Gonzalez is, someone says to him like, "What kind of vigilante wears a hockey mask?" And I go, "I think it's cool." Have you seen that?
No, I didn't catch that.
I love that.
There was an episode of Flash
Yep.
where this is early on, and it's when I first come back, and Candace isn't supposed to know who I am, but she recognizes me,
Mm-hmm.
and I improv the line. She's like, "You look really familiar," and I'm like, "Yeah, I get Oliver Queen all the time," and they wouldn't leave it in. The writers were like, "No, you can't." I was like, "Why? That's
Really?
funny."
They think they're flying too close to the sun.
I'm like, you're
there's
either in on the joke and you get it, or you're not, and it doesn't matter.
There's
at
a
all.
giant shark villain. You can't make a slight allusion to us being related? Stop it. You can't be selectively serious.
They were like, at one point, they were like, we need one without it, and Grant goes, don't give them one.
We actually had there was a, and by the way, this doesn't happen all the time. We love our writers and our creators and
they're
stuff
all
like
awesome.
that. But there was a line the other night that that I didn't want to say, and our director, and it's Mark Bunting is directing for us now. He was the second AD on the pilot, and has been our first AD alternating with Ken Shane since the first season. So he's directing. I'm really excited for him. And there was a line that didn't totally make sense for my character, and I forgot to run it by the producers. And he was like, I'm not gonna say the whole thing. I'm gonna say half of it because the last sentence doesn't totally make sense. And he came up and he was like, "Can we get one? Can we just get one?" And I go, "Absolutely not." And then just did it. Oh, that's good. Season 5 feels good. Can you, from your vantage point, which was the best vantage point in the venue, explain to Facebook how much Maddie nailed being a flower girl?
Okay, so during the ceremony, it was a large wedding party. My fiance, or my now wife, and I both had 10.
Have you gotten used to that, by the way? I haven't even noticed the ring.
Yeah,
That looks sharp.
thanks. It's
Yeah.
nice. We had 10. She had 10 bridesmaids. I had 10 groomsmen, or 8 plus 2 because she couldn't choose between her best friends. Anyway, so we had a lot of people walking down the aisle, and then it's Mavi's turn, and she follows Steve in her little bit of OCD, and she walks out, and it was like one very nicely placed flower at a time as she went. But then by the time she got to the end, she still had a large basket full of flowers. So Italia and I are up there, and we're saying our vows or having everything read to us, and Italia just kind of nudges me to look towards Mavi, and she's continued to throw flowers down at her feet while she's standing with Steve and Cass, and then eventually gets to a point where she just flips the basket upside down and shakes it. It was awesome. Italia and I still talk about it as like one of our favorite moments.
That was a great wedding.
It was nice. A lot of flowers.
Tara Galasso asked, what famous movie star would you like to work with?
That's a good question.
There's a few people I'd like to work
sorry,
with.
Tom Cruise,
Yep,
first and last.
he is 100% at the top of that list.
Okay, Khaled Al-Assad asks, who was your childhood hero?
For a little while, Steven was.
Because I gave Robbie a fake ID when he was.
No, before that, I used to hang out with Steven all the time, and Steven's 7 years older than me. I like people to know that. And when we were young, Steven was like a huge role model for me. Growing up, we went to the same elementary school when we were young, so like Steven's name was all over trophies and stuff. He was a huge track star in Toronto in elementary. So growing up, he was a huge hero of mine. And then something changed.
Who's your actual childhood hero?
I don't know. Like, when I was young, it was hockey players, but I never really thought of hockey as a career or anything. I think, like, as cheesy as it is, I think, like, my mom and dad were always the biggest, like,
Well, that's pretty cool.
influences on me when I was young, and
Mine was Hulk Hogan. I'm serious.
I don't doubt it.
From
Yep.
Deidre Rainey.
Yeah.
Did you ever consider directing an episode of Arrow?
People ask that question all the time, and I used to say no, for sure. And I still think no, because I think that it would be a little bit indulgent, because I wouldn't really be available to prep, and I wouldn't really be available to post. But
Is that it?
yeah, we do have.
That's
yeah,
it.
we have really
Well, that was
good
the last one.
No, I don't. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm happy just acting on the show. I'm happy just acting on the show. A couple more questions, and then it's time to go. Because let's go stand behind it so we can. So people can see the depth and the breadth of our work. That's it.
That's a lot of those.
This is shine. Okay, we did it.
Thanks, guys.
This is
Thank you.
this is the biggest step that we had to do.
But the fulfillment for the deliverables for the campaign is underway. Thank you everyone for your patience, for your support and your love and your generosity.
We're gonna make something awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna make something really good for you guys, and can't wait to share it with you. And I'm glad that I had this idea, and
He did have this idea.
for the postcards, not the film.
Steve was like, let's ask people what they want. And you guys wanted something signed by both of us at a reasonable price. And that's why we sold 4,000 of
A
them.
giant thank you to Lord Mesa for
Yes.
coming up with an awesome design. Check him out, Lord, and then Mesa, Mesa. Google that guy. He does really, really great work. He does it in
On a regular basis, too. Like, he does so much stuff.
he
He stays on top of it.
he's on top of it.
Yeah.
He's an awesome guy. Got to know him a little bit. He's a great guy.
He's super cool.
Thank you, Facebook.